Both JoJo and Wamu would take their positions. The crowd of vampires in the arena, cheering on for the death of JoJo. Both fighters would stand onto their chariots, with their zombified horses at the ready. Around the lap that the chariots would move, there would be a pillar, and for every lap completed, a new weapon would be given to them. For the first lap, a sledgehammer, one that could be used for devastating effect. Lisa, and Diana would watch on as JoJo prepared himself, removing what he called rubble from around the wheels. Cars would announce that the race would begin as soon as the light of the full moon shined from the cloud that passed in front of it. There was an unsettling nerve for both Lisa and Diana, as it seemed like the fiery-tempered JoJo was taking things a little too lightly. The cloud was just about to pass. Soon the race would begin, and he wasn't even mounted and ready to ride. For Wamu, he paid no attention to him. In the end, he would get a glorious battle. But it wouldn't be enough. His fate was already sealed. Or at least that's what he thought. As soon as the race would begin, much to Wamu's annoyance, his chariot did not move. But JoJo, he was able to fly past him. Everyone had been so distracted and preoccupied with the start of the race, no one paid attention to little old JoJo stuffing the wheels of Wamu's chariot with debris and rubble to slow him down. It was a dirty trick, definitely underhanded, but there was nothing saying that it couldn't be done. Even with his emotions running high, even with his strong sense of anger and vengeance, JoJo still found a way to use his trickery to his advantage. As the race would start, a flying light of gold would move on the track, Haman conducting themselves through the reins of the zombified vampire horses, causing them to be under control and subjugation. Inside of his mind, both JoJo and Nabu would debate strategy. "All I have to do is go for the hammer," JoJo would say. "Once I take hold of it, I'll fill it up with as much Haman as possible, with a nice coating of oil. With all of that power, I can destroy him in one hit. Just fill me up like you did before." "I can't do that, JoJo." "And why not? I'm not the same weakling I was a month ago. It won't go how it did last time. I'm more than capable. Stop holding back and just give me the power." "That's exactly why I can't do it." "What? You wait till now in the middle of a fight to want to talk ethics with me? I told you, we're in this together. I don't care about the consequences. All I want to do is..." "You're throwing away your life, JoJo." "What? You think I can't handle it, don't you? You have no problem using people before. It's in your MO. Nabu said nothing, much to JoJo's annoyance, as Wamu gave way. Moving quickly, he would take hold of the hammer, to his delight. "Fine, if you don't want to help me, I'll do it on my own, like I always have. And now, I'm coming for you, Wamu!" But, much to JoJo's annoyance, the people in the crowd, the undead warriors, they were laughing at him. He couldn't understand why, though. He was the one who had taken the weapon. He was in control. But little did he realize that there was more to this battle than met the eye. As the column would be torn from its foundation, as Wamu was wielding the whole column as a weapon, and now he was gaining speed, preparing to catch up to JoJo and swing the whole column directly at him. A large stone column compared to a hammer, even one infused with Haman. Well, you could imagine what was going to win that little exchange. Of course, for JoJo, He wasn't too concerned even when the column smashed into his chariot. He still had the ability of flight. Wamu was now swinging the column in the air, like trying to swat a fly. Except now, JoJo was attempting to get in close. With a direct shot of the Hamon-infused hammer, he slammed it directly into Wamu's head. But Wamu responded in kind, slapping JoJo in the face with the column. The hammer went flying off into the crowd as JoJo would get a hold of himself as he attempted to fly up and catch to his opponent as Wamu would turn to face him. "You have lost your chariot, Joestar. Now what will you do?" "In case you've forgotten, I have the ability to fly, unlike you. I don't need a chariot to win. Now I can focus all of my attention on tearing you apart, Wamu." "Yes, JoJo. Embrace your fighting spirit. Show me what you can do." As the two combatants would race around the arena, Lisa, and Diana would watch on with high anticipation. "I don't like this," Diana would say. "JoJo's losing his cool out there. He needs to stay focused, but it's hard. He is now face to face with the being that killed his closest friend." Wamu is a warrior with over 12,000 years of experience, Carr said as he leaned back sipping his wine. JoJo is strong. Being the one to inherit Naboo's will, it's only natural that he would be. But even with that, he is still at a disadvantage. "What disadvantage could that be?" Diana would say. "I've read the ancient text about the Helmet of Fate. It is said to be one of the most powerful artifacts in the world. If a Campione ever got their hands on it, it's said that the power could be monumental. But even for a Hamon user, you seem entirely too relaxed. Are you that confident that you could overpower him?" "That's where I believe you're making your mistake, Amazonian. It's not about power, it's about experience. Think about it. How long has the Helmet of Fate existed in this world? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000? You could say it's existed for a good few years. More so than you can quantify. More so than you or I have ever existed. Now imagine all of the power that's stored up in that helmet. Why do you think that a mortal can never use it to its fullest extent?" "It's overbearing," Lisa would say to Diana. "And I say that from experience. All of the information, all of the power that the Helmet of Fate truly has, it would take someone with an immortal body to use it to its fullest extent. Thousands upon thousands of years of knowledge and power is stored within it. But if any mortal, even a powerful Hamon user, were to try to use its power to its fullest extent, it would destroy them." "You've used it before?" Diana would ask. "I did, and I could say with all certainty, I was only able to gain 90 years worth of power from it." "Only 90? And even that would be considered impressive," Cars would say. 90 years worth of power, and yet you still couldn't maintain it. What do you think JoJo will be able to do? Someone as rash and arrogant as he. If he tried to absorb all of that power into himself at once, his body would implode, his mind would be completely broken and overloaded. The stimulation of it all. To achieve that much power. That is why it's the greatest insult. Because the Hamon users, they have with them a powerful weapon, a weapon that in theory should overcome us. But because of the weakness of the human body and the human mind and the human spirit, they'll never be able to use it to its fullest capacity. The only way you could is if you became immortal, and the only key of immortality is by using the stone mask. But once you use the stone mask, you can never don the helmet of fate. It's the greatest form of paradox. My master Anubius created the stone mask as a counter to the helmet of fate. In theory, they are inferior, but yet their power and their benefits far outweigh what using the helmet of fate could possibly be. That is why JoJo will lose. He may have access to almost unlimited power that could potentially even reshape this whole world. But he does not have the strength to use it, nor the patience. In the end, his own arrogance will be his undoing, and Wamuu will be the victor. JoJo was having a tough time of it, trying to keep up with Wamuu, who was wielding the power of the wind through his horn, shooting off powerful bursts of wind, knocking him off balance as he flew in the air. The two warriors colliding with one another, JoJo slamming his Hamon-infused fist into the likes of Wamuu. He would try to use some of his Hamon breathing and his techniques, even wielding out his clackaballs, wielding one in each hand. He infused them with Hamon after having them dipped in oil. Having them become good conductors, he attempted to slam them into Wamuu to try to restrain him. It worked briefly, but eventually Wamuu was able to break out and continue his assault. JoJo was trying to wring his mind with a plan. As the next turn would come following the new lap, two weapons now hanging in front of them, that being two crossbows, a larger one and a smaller one. JoJo went for the large one as he spun around while flying, his arrogance radiating from himself. All I have to do is fire one good shot and you're done. Need to infuse Hamon into my arms in order to work this thing. You should have gone for the smaller one, Nabu would say. Oh, so now you want to give advice. Well, that sure would have been helpful a while ago. And this is why you will never be able to reach your fullest potential. And just what would you know about full potential? Tell me, just what in the hell would you know about that? I swear, Nabu, you have been nothing but a burden to me ever since I got you. JoJo remembered that day. The day when he was only 12 years old, when he first tried to wield the helmet of fate. It was too much. For a month, he was almost in a complete catatonic state, fearing that he was in a coma he'd never wake up from. That was how overpowering the sensation of the helmet of fate was. His brain almost melting away from it entirely. You almost killed me back then, JoJo said. And I've never forgotten it. You knew what you were doing. You almost destroyed me. Do you still hate me for that? Hate doesn't even begin to describe what I feel for you. I felt it all. I felt the essence of Lisa. Even if I didn't know who she was to me back then, I felt my grandfather. I felt those who came before, those who wielded your power. I felt their pain, their anguish, everything. You've kept it all, haven't you, you masochist? There's more to it than that, JoJo. What more could there be? You and your own crusade against good and evil. You don't care for the humans or for anyone else. You just want to win, and win by any means necessary. And I'm fine with that, Naboo. Really, I am. So tell me, why can't you do it now? You had no problem using anyone else to get what you wanted. You had no problem making everyone else the fool. I saw it, the way that they gave their all. You destroyed them time and time again, and it's never mattered to you now. But now in this moment, when I give you permission, when I allow you to use me to your fullest extent, to give me the power that I need to destroy my enemies, you refuse to do it, JoJo said. So why? Why won't you? Why do you hold back against me? Because, JoJo, no one else deserves to die. You really expect me to believe that? Believe whatever you want. Your grandfather trained for over 3 years. 3 years, day and night, to harness my power. He was truly remarkable. A spirit unlike any other. It was almost frightening in a way. The level of power that he was able to achieve in just a 3-year time span. It was astounding. Your father, you could say, fell to fear. And because of that, he was not able to truly manifest his own Hamon. His fire died out all too quickly. But your power rages like your emotions. They move aimlessly like the wind, no form like the waves of the sea. You are powerful, Joseph, but you lack direction. You lack focus. You're so quick to want to burn everything, to give it all in the name of victory. But in all of my time, I have come to learn this one crucial fact of life. Victory is not rewarded to the dead. The dead do not get to celebrate their wins. They do not get to revel in loss. And for you to ask of my power, a power that could so easily destroy you, it shows that you still don't understand. You do not need all of my power to make such a foolish gamble now. Do you not see where you stand, even against the likes of Wamu? You have grown powerful, far more powerful than you have ever given yourself credit. You think that if you had had more power, you could have saved him. That was the same mistake your mother made. The power was already in you. You always had it. What you lack is confidence. What are you, a therapist now? I can only speak the truth. Whether or not you accept it, that is up to you. Wamu would begin to fire off his shots. Metal balls attached to the crossbows. JoJo would attempt to move around to dodge the attack, but shooting it off like a ricocheting shot, like a ball on a billiard table, it would bounce off of the walls of the Colosseum, eventually shooting JoJo directly in the side. It wasn't enough to penetrate, but it was definitely enough to crack a few ribs, and then maybe even puncture a lung, making breathing all but more difficult. As he staggered in the air and began rolling to the ground, Wamu would charge with his chariot, ready to run him over and destroy him. As he got close enough, he held up both of his hands as he cried out, "Divine Sandstorm!" The twirling tornadoes would shoot towards JoJo as he attempted to use what little Hamon he had to gather around himself like a barrier. He held out his hands against the large torrents as he countered with an attack of his own. Using the scarf that was wrapped around his neck, he ripped it in half and held up both halves of the cloth in his hands. The sandstorm shredding the cloth into pieces, the string coming apart easily, intertwirling with the wind as JoJo was knocked back. As Wamu held his fist into the air, he didn't catch it till the last moment, the thread wrapping itself around his forearms. As JoJo would unleash a full torrent of Hamon into them, at his elbows, his arms would begin to dangle off. He had been severely wounded as his chariot continued to race. JoJo would stand to his feet, staggered and beaten, catching a moment to reprieve himself. "Damn. I told you," Nabu would say. "You are more powerful than you give yourself credit. You just have to think." Yeah. I've bought myself some time. He's going to come back, and this time I'm going to finish him." JoJo would clasp his hands together as a small ball of light began to form. As he held his hands, compressing the light, making it denser. "What's he doing? Look at that little ball of light. It's like he's holding the sun. What is this?" "He is attempting to perform Nova Grande," Lisa would say. "Nova Grande? It's when you condense your Hamon to such a point, condensing the ball of light that you are able to make for yourself, to the point where it becomes a dense form of energy. Normally, this is performed by a Hamon user who focuses all of the Hamon in their body into their heart and causes a self-destruction, like creating one's own bomb with their own body and flesh. And he can just spam it. No, he can't. This is the difference. A true Nova Grande is a last resort move, but JoJo has figured a way of creating it on a smaller scale. They're powerful, but it's not quite like the real thing. And because of that, he may not get the extended force that he is wishing to gain from it. But he's going to wait for Wamu to come back, and then he's going to hit him with that attack, isn't he? Wamu is stunned. Right now, he feels as though he is on the brink. But that is just before he reaches into his next crucial stage, Cars would explain. On instinct, Wamu would raise his thumbs into his eyes, destroying them and regaining his own senses. As a horn would protrude from the center of his forehead, the horn able to read the wind and everything around him, his senses now heightened and restored to an even greater extent than they once were. Yes, I can feel it. JoJo, you are gathering a strong mass of Hamon. Do you intend to fire off a shot? That's the plan, Wamu, JoJo could yell. He was still over 150 meters away, but he was closing speed. The chariot was going to collide with him soon enough. What exactly is your plan here, JoJo? Nabu would ask. It's just a little Nova Grande special. This is not a true Nova Grande. You can only perform that if you plan to end it all. Yeah, and maybe I would have had a mind to do so. But you know what? You're right. Every move I make shouldn't have to be a sacrifice play. I should be able to fight smarter, not harder. But make no mistake about it. I intend to win here. But I also intend to keep living. There's no reason for me to throw away my life like it's nothing. And like you said, I have the power within me, right? So now I can prove you wrong too. And I can show you what I'm truly capable of. It was just then that JoJo would feel a warm glow, a strong aura forming around him, the helmet of fate beginning to glow as well, as the Nova Grande would begin to grow, getting bigger and bigger. At this point, I will have to use my ultimate attack. Ultimate Mastery! Atmospheric Rift! No. Cars would yell as he dropped his glass of wine. What are you doing? Stop this! Wamu! He is putting everything into his attack, Master Cars. It would be dishonorable if I did not do the same. I have faith in my technique. I know I can win. What is this? JoJo would ask. I'm allowing you to tap into more of my power. I want to see your resolve. If you truly believe that you can handle it, then let's see what you've got. So now you want to be generous. Well, it's not Christmas time, but I'm happy to accept a gift. With all of his strength, JoJo would continue to keep his hands clasped. As the glowing ball of light continued to grow, it was not the straining of the size of the mass that was harming him. It was its density. It's starting to grow, Diana would say. It's getting bigger. The stadium began to rock. Rubble and debris were starting to fly towards the amassing ball. What is this? It's like he's creating his own sun. That is the power of the Nova Grande. To turn one's own heart into a sun. An exploding sun with all the Hamon that you can muster. But now JoJo has managed to do the impossible. He has taken a Hamon spell, a technique that was originally used as a last resort, something used at the end of one's life when they feel they have no way out. He has cast what was meant to be death into hope. I hope you're preparing yourself, Wamu. This technique, I'm putting everything into it. This is for my friend who died fighting you. For everyone who has ever fell at your feet. Now, you will get to taste death firsthand. Strike true, JoJo. Hold nothing back. Now, you will face the full might of my ultimate mastery, Atmospheric Rift. Now, Nova Grande! The attack of light and of wind would collide, the explosion knocking back both combatants, as Wamu was sent flying into the opposite wall, having bore the full brunt of his wind colliding with the fiery light of explosion, and JoJo himself being repelled in the opposite direction also. As people watched on, the spectators seeing that the smoke was beginning to clear. They could hear the strained gargles of one trying to breathe. What they saw was JoJo, the helmet of fate being knocked off of his head, and now Wamu's arms, his hands wrapped around his throat, trying to crush his windpipe to stop him from breathing. Damn! I didn't think he'd try stuff like this. My arms, they feel like lead. My lungs, they feel like they're on fire. Every time I breathe, it feels like I'm breathing in lava. Wamu! JoJo, Wamu said in the crater in the wall. With no arms or legs, they had been burnt off. I had to use my attack on the defense to avoid a worser fate. Damn it. But now, I know that you cannot move either. If I fire it one more time, multiple pipes would begin to shoot from Wamu's chest, dragging in the wind into himself. If I fire off another shot of ultimate atmospheric rift, I'll completely destroy you! The horn would shoot off another cutting slash of wind as Wamu dragged his head slowly towards where JoJo was to cut him in half. In his last dying efforts, JoJo reached down for the last bottle of oil that he had, along with a piece of red cloth. It was a patch that the captain used to wear. When JoJo was a child, he thought that this patch was pretty cool. It was an award that he had been given to for his valor in battle. The patch of Captain Midnight. First, JoJo would throw the bottle of oil towards Wamu, his wind easily cutting it. The cloth fading out of his hand as well, it seemed like all was lost. It's over, Wamu. You have lost. And do you know why? What? I have not been defeated, but you have. You destroyed that jar of oil, but now the vapors are going into the air that you used for your ultimate technique. And that piece of cloth, it belonged to my friend, the captain. He sends his regards to you. What? The cloth had been set on fire, the small fragments still blazing as they too were absorbed into Wamu, along with the vaporized oil. The mixture of the fiery oil now inside of him, it caused him to erupt, a self-destruction of his own making. In the end, Wamu was reduced to nothing but a head, his hands no longer around the throat of Joestar. As he walked over to what remained of Wamu, who could no longer see, who could only feel through the horn in his head, for no part of his body remained. This means you've lost, Wamu. It's over. It is, Joestar. It seems you and Naboo have gained the victory. I will not deny you your vengeance. You have every right to strike me down. So strike true. I will. JoJo would reach his hand out to Wamu, to the stump where his neck used to be. As blood came from the cuts on his arm, he allowed it to flow, allowing for Wamu to heal just a little bit. What? Why are you? Is this your form of pity? Is that really what you think? That I would do something like this out of pity for you? Make no mistake about it, Wamu. I hate everything about you. But I do respect you as a warrior. The captain, he was able to steal this from you, JoJo said, holding on to the ring that contained the antidote. You knew what he was going for when he saved Caesar. You could have gone after them if you wanted to. You could have killed them both and taken back the cure. But you didn't. I never cared for immortality, JoJo. And I do not regret the life that I have lived. I have struck down many a Haman user. I have killed many. That I do not regret. But I respect the warrior spirit. To fight. To put everything on the line. Even when you have no chance of winning. You have left your scar on me, JoJo. And you have left your scar on me. I will never forget it. Some of the undead warriors in the crowd did not care for such sentiment, and they began to race down to attack JoJo. But even as nothing more but a head, Wamu would use what strength he had to bounce his skull into the air, slicing through at the warriors that tried to attack. A dishonorable move if there ever was one. As for Cars, he removed his head wrap, allowing for his hair to flow in the wind, shining almost like the light from his own bone saws. So now, even Wamu has fallen. But I should not be surprised. The only one left to stand is the one who should rule. So what now? Diana would ask. Is this the part where you go back on your word and you use your army to try to rip us to shreds and take the stone of Asia? I made my promise and I intend to keep it. You have gained this victory, but the war is not over yet. Are you happy, Lisa? What is there to be happy for? We have gained only one victory. It's not over until you die. I agree. Come, we have no time to waste. The next battle shall begin. You and I, Amazonian, we will finish what we started. Cars would call for one of his attendants, who brought a small chest. As he opened it, he pulled out what appeared to be an amulet. I never thought that I would have to use this. But it seems that even now I require your help one more time, Lord Anubius. What is that? No, it's the amulet of Anubis. But why would you? Why ask such questions? You have your secrets, and I have mine. Are you really foolish enough to use that thing? If you do, you'll doom us all. Come now, Lisa, Carr said with a smile. Are you afraid of the dark? Are you afraid of what goes bump in the night? You should be. You are playing with dangerous forces, Cars. And the universe does not look too kindly upon those who do such things. I am not superstitious. I only believe in one thing, and that is power. And with this world will belong to me and me alone. Have you prepared yourself, Amazonian? Diana would ditch her sword and shield. Steve watching on from a distance, a look of worried concern on his face. But soon it would turn into a smile. Well, I didn't think things got that dire. But if she's whipping that out, then holy hell. It looks like things are about to heat up. He watched as Diana would reach behind her back and pull out her weapon of choice. That's what you intend to fight me with? A piece of string. For your information, this is the lasso of truth. And it's all that I'll need to defeat you, Cars. I have never been one to fight against a woman, but for you, I will make an exception. I hope you have prepared yourself, Amazonian. I do not intend to hold back. I will kill you. This concludes JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Battle of Fate. What if Joseph Joestar was Dr. Fate? Part 11. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that's to come out now and in the future. And stay tuned next time as we continue with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Battle of Fate. What if Joseph Joestar was Dr. Fate? Part 12. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings, signing off, and I'll see you next time.